What is going on, guys, gals, non-binary pals, and nerds everywhere? Welcome back to Nerd Explosion, the weekly podcast where based on a monthly theme we nerd out about whatever we want. I am Cameron.
And I'm Kate, way far away, all the way over here.
Yeah, you're like all the way far away. Hey, how's the weather over there?
Hi. I don't know.
How's it over there in Loserland?
Well, I can see the thermostat from here, and you're not going to be happy about it.
What does it read? I can't even read it from here, just there's a glare.
It's a whopping 79 degrees in here.
Jesus H. fuck.
And it is... Okay, well, it's 81 outside, so I guess it is technically cooler in here.
Technically cooler in here.
But not by a lot.
Well, yeah, I mean, at least it's not like outside, but just right now it's humid out there. Well, not as humid as I imagine it's gonna get, because it's only June, so...
Well, and it did rain earlier.
And it did rain too, so it's gonna be humid as shit. But anyway, on to today's episode. We're doing Reddit month, and I thought of a interesting subreddit to go through today, one that I really haven't dived into before, r/unpopular opinion. No, this is just a subreddit where people obviously post unpopular opinions and see if people agree or disagree on them. I figured it'd just be fun to go through. I got quite a few just general ones. I got a couple of gaming ones in here too. We got Kate feeling like she's gonna sneeze. Is it going? Did I scare it away?
No, you scared it away.
I scared it away. But yeah, we're gonna go through some unpopular opinions and see if we agree or disagree on them. But you know what I'm gonna say, so why do I even, repeat myself? Okay, fine, I'll repeat myself. New episodes of this podcast come out every Saturday, so, do all the things and all the stuff, all the links and all of that and whatnot. But let's hear some unpopular opinions. I also forgot to mention this at the top of the episode, but I'm kind of experimenting around with different intro music. I did something for this episode. I might do something different for the next one, but I'm trying different things and kind of seeing what sticks. But
it's a banger.
I mean, I'm not gonna toot my own horn, but
Beep beep, motherfucker.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but a beep beep. Anyway, let's get into these unpopular opinions, shall we? First one I have saved here from, oh hey, it's me, guys. People who cause car accidents should have to take their test again. Now, the reasoning this person gives is, the title is self-explanatory, but seriously, as someone from the Nova/DMV area, it's infuriating to sit through an accident every single day. If you cause a car accident, you should be forced to take your driver's test again before being allowed back on the road. I kind of agree to a certain extent.
An unpopular opinion? Obviously you have to look at it on a case-by-case basis. Like, if you cause a car accident because you slipped on black ice, that's not really, lack of driving skill, you know what I mean? But if you're just not paying attention and you cause a wreck, yeah, absolutely, you should take your test again.
I kind of I see it from a standpoint, I don't think as soon as you cause an accident you should take a test. You should have to take your test again if you have caused multiple accidents.
Although, to be fair, not to triangulate us, but we are in Minnesota, and in Minnesota the law is you are 10% responsible for any accident you're in because you're on the road. Yeah, and you're automatically 10% at fault.
I kind of see it as it should be a thing where if you, what's the word I'm looking for?
Negligence?
If you on purpose cause an accident, or if you cause an accident because you're, stupid or whatever, then yeah, I think you should have to take your test again. But if you're not at fault, and if it's just something that, freak accident out of your control, I don't think you should have to take your test again. But if you're responsible for multiple accidents, especially over the course of a small period of time, I definitely think you should have to take it again.
Kind of piggybacking off of that, I have an unpopular opinion of my own.
Oh, yeah?
About driving.
I feel like I know what you're going to say, but
and I'm directing this 100% at my sister.
Oh, yeah?
If you have more than one speeding ticket in a 6-month period, your license should be suspended.
Or at least you should be taking...
Especially, and I'm putting you fully on blast here if you're listening, especially if you're going fucking 90 in a 55.
Jeez. Another thing I kind of saw.
That's like borderline felonious.
I saw that's kind of related to this. If you're over the age of 70, you should be required to take a driving test again, just to see if you're still able to be on the road.
Oh, I agree. And I know that
some of these old geezers need to get off the damn road.
My grandma, God's lover, but she drives like she's afraid every other car on the road is going to hit her. Like, you know how you're supposed to drive like defensively? She does not.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I fear for my life every time I get in the car with her.
Well, I think I've told you too, one of my coworkers, I hate getting stuck behind him.
Oh, is he the one that goes 20 miles an hour in a 35?
Yeah, it would go like 10 miles under the speed limit, and I always get stuck behind him. Well, because the normal road that I go home is closed during, for construction. So I have to go this one way, but, two other people I work with go the same way. And I always get stuck behind the one guy who has to drive 10 miles under the speed limit. And I'm just like, I'm sure he's sitting there, talking about his day with, his girlfriend that works with us too. He's talking about his day, he talked about what they had to do, and I'm just behind him like, fucking find the gas pedal!
Literally, like, nothing makes me angrier than people who don't know how to drive.
My God, like, driving infuriates me. We need to invent teleportation technology, like, now.
God, do you know how much money I'd save in February if I could just teleport?
Although I could see that backfire, because then, managers would be like, well, you could teleport to work, so you have no excuse to be late.
Not my managers.
Or some corporate greedy bastard would find a way to make the teleportation thing so that the managers are in control, so they could just zap you into work whenever they want to.
I feel like this is a no teleportation zone.
This is a no teleportation zone. All right. Next unpopular opinion. This comes from Hounds of Love. Eye color is the least important aspect for attractive eyes.
I disagree with that.
This person says it's arguably the least important aspect that constitutes attractive eyes. The shape, canthal, tilt, and how much upper eyelid exposure there is, the eye spacing, how far apart or close set they are, eyelash length, how deep set they are, how much sclera show there is, etc., are so much more important. There's so many examples of people who are considered unattractive in which having lighter eyes does not help them. If anything, brown eyes make you look much more approachable and higher trust. Lighter eyes look more striking and photographs better. I kind of see their point with that.
I see their point. I disagree with it though, because I have brown eyes.
Yeah.
I'm very fond of my eyes. I think they're one of my best features. But I'm a sucker for some deep green or blue eyes.
I can see where they're coming from with this. Like, yeah, eye color is great. I think eye color is great too, but also eye shape is pretty important too. But I think just eyes in general, everything about an eye can, you can find attractive, both color and shape.
So what's your favorite color of eye?
Brown.
Are you just saying that because I have brown eyes?
No, I actually do like brown eyes.
Oh, because legitimately my favorite eyes are like a really deep hazel green.
A weird thing, and this might be one of my unpopular opinions, certain people who have blue eyes should not have blue eyes. You know what I mean? Like, some people, it just looks weird. Like, some people with blue eyes just look like they shouldn't have blue eyes.
Like Maddie. Well, her eyes are green technically, but
well, no,
they're like
I'm just
that
thinking,
weird blue-green.
I'm just saying, like, the people who, like, I don't know if it makes sense, their eye color doesn't match the rest of their face.
Like, they look like they should have darker eyes.
They look like they shouldn't have the eye color they have. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or the people, I think, don't some people have yellow eyes? Like, I know it's very rare, but I think, don't some people do have yellow eyes? Time for the doodle.
Let's go to the jujel.
Time for the jujel. Because I know that was a thing in, like, A Christmas Story, because the bully kid had yellow eyes, but I thought that was...
Yeah, you have yellow eyes if you're jaundice.
Oh. I thought that was just like a rare thing.
No.
I know one thing that is rare, and somebody I follow on YouTube, a Kingdom Hearts YouTuber I follow on YouTube, has, I forget what it's called, but it's like a condition where, you know, your eyes are two different colors. Like one eye could be brown and the other eye could be like very light blue. I forget the actual word for it, but it's a condition.
Oh, hang on. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like some people have the condition where one eye is a different color than the other.
Heterochromia.
Heterochromia, that's what it's called, yeah.
But you know when you go to the search bar, this is totally off topic, but it unbutters my biscuit. So it used to, before this last update, when you go to the search bar, you could type in what you were looking for, and then the results would like pop up right away with like the Safari results or whatever. But now when I type in something to search, okay, now that I'm complaining about it, you're gonna do it. Never mind.
See, I never use that thing. I just go to my internet, you know, like a normal person.
Yeah, well, my internet's not on my homepage. I don't want to scroll through all my apps.
What do you mean not on your homepage? For me, it's right at the bottom.
Yeah, at the bottom.
Right at the bottom of the screen, I got phone.
At the bottom
message.
of so at the bottom of my home screen, I have in order my most important apps. In order, from left to right, it's Snapchat, Finch, Messages, Phone. Because those are the 4 apps I use the most.
Mine is phone, messages, internet, and then music.
Oh no, my music is in a folder titled AirPods Required.
Which is funny because I have my Apple Music on the bottom bar, but I also have Spotify in its own separate folder. I have that in my podcast folder.
I don't get Spotify. I don't like it.
I like it sometimes because it's basically like radio with just an ad here and there.
Yeah, that's what I don't
But
like.
with podcasts, they don't really bombard you with ads unless the person doing the show specifically put ads in it. All right. Next unpopular opinion. This comes from physics.
Oh yeah.
That's how I'm going to pronounce her name. People that make shallow left turns are the absolute worst. You're supposed to go out into the intersection in order to make a proper left turn. Going into the intersection allows for you to achieve the proper depth and allows you to turn into the lane completely. I kind of get where they're going with that. I'm guessing by shallow left turns, they mean the people that, like, when they turn, they, like, cut the corner as close as they can.
Well, I guess it depends on the context, though, because you're supposed to turn.
Basically, the people, like, say you come to a stop sign and somebody's turning from, like, your right side or whatever.
Yeah.
And they turn, but they almost, like, come into, like, the corner of, like, your lane. So, like, if they turn any closer, they would hit you. Like, you know, the people who, like, so you're here.
Oh, I see.
Like,
okay,
you're going forward, they're coming right, and they turn left and come, like, almost come into your lane.
Yeah, that shit pisses me off, too.
Somebody in the comments also said people who make exaggerated wide right turns are even worse. You fuckers aren't driving a semi. No reason for you to turn into the left lane before you make a right in a tiny sedan. That pisses me off more than anything. The people with the tiniest cars who have to take up the most room on the road.
I am feeling so attacked right now. It's not even funny.
The tiniest cars that take up the most room to make a simple turn. Like, you don't do that, though. You turn like a normal person does. I'm talking about the people that, like, will drive a car like my size, and they'll have to turn right, but they'll go all the way, like, as left as they can to turn right. Like, you don't need that much room to turn right.
Well, yeah, but again, it's context. I mean, it depends on what lane you're turning from. If you're turning from the furthest in lane, you need to turn into the furthest in lane. Like, the other shit that pisses me off, especially when people make left turns, is when you're turning from a two lane turn lane and it's 2 lefts, right? And they're in the the furthest left turn lane, and they turn into this. Oh, I just totally hit my mic because I'm talking with my hands. when they turn from like the furthest left lane into like the second left lane, so they like cross over.
So like someone's on the outside, you're on the inside, and they turn to the inside.
Yeah, like get your shit together.
Like I just like this person said, I hate the people that will turn like way wider than they need to. Like unless you're a semi, you don't need to turn that wide.
Yeah.
Like you don't need that much room to turn.
Well, and see, okay, so hold on. Read that to me again because I think I misunderstood.
Which one, the post or the comment?
The post.
People that make shallow left turns are the absolute worst. You're supposed to go out into the intersection in order to make a proper left turn. Going into the intersection allows for you to achieve proper depth and allows to turn into the lane completely. So they're saying like when you're in an intersection, when you're turning, you go into the middle and then turn so that, you know, once you make the turn, you're right in the middle of the lane where you're supposed to be.
Oh yeah, this person would hate me because I definitely don't do that.
Instead of like turning as tight as you can and, you know, basically cutting the corner of like somebody else in like the opposite, going the opposite way.
No, see, when I was taught how to drive, when they were talking about turning through an intersection, they wanted you to keep it as tight as possible.
Well, yeah, but there's people that go way too tight.
Oh, like they're going to do a U-turn and then don't?
Well, kind of. Like I said, like the people who turn and like...
Because I'm not going to drive out to the middle of an intersection and then cut left. That's stupid.
Well, that's not what they're saying. They're saying, like, as you go forward, you go as far as you can and then turn. Instead of, like, turning immediately, you know?
See, next time I drive,
like
I'm going to have to pay attention to that.
Some people turn immediately and almost, like, cut off somebody else or cut the corner of somebody else. I don't know. Just... people need to learn to drive. And while we're talking about turning, learn how to use your goddamn blinkers.
Oh my god, yes. That shit.
The one thing that pisses me off, like, and I've dealt with this I deal with this several times throughout the week. So I'll be going down this road and there's a part as I'm getting home where I'm at a stoplight and like people who are going straight, like I have the right of way and there's people on the other side, but it's a straight and turn. So people will sit there, just, you know, no blinker on whatsoever. As soon as the light turns green, I'm like, fucking...
See, I'm always super conscious of, like, my turn signal, especially if you're in, like you were saying, if you're in a lane that's either straight or turn. Because I know that if I don't have my turn signal on and I'm turning, the person across the street is so fucking mad at me and my anxiety will not let that happen. So I'm like, I'll hit my blinker 50 miles back if I know I have a turn coming up.
See, my thing is, and some people said this makes me an old man, but my best excuse is I have ADHD. Like I'll turn from somewhere, like I'll turn out of work.
It's me, I'm some people.
I'll turn out of work to go down the road and I'll realize like half a mile down that my blinker is still on. And that's not because I'm an old man. It's because literally something else grabbed my attention and my brain didn't register, oh, you should probably turn your blinker off. So, like, I'll just be driving, minding my own business, and then I'll just be like, what the fuck is that? Like, oh, my blinker's still on.
Yeah, I do that too all the time. Like, turn your blinker off, Grandpa.
But, yeah, people need to learn how to drive.
Yes, agreed.
All right. Next one. This is from Critical Border. Participation trophies are a good thing, but not keeping score is stupid.
Both of those things cannot be true.
There's nothing wrong with giving kids a reward for participation. So much of life is just about showing up. We should encourage them to participate in activities, even if they're not the best. Most people won't be the best, but that doesn't mean they shouldn't stay active and engage in sports. The concept of not keeping score and not having winners and losers is antithetical to this, though. Winning is a fun accomplishment that should be celebrated, and also learning how to lose gracefully and appreciate that you still put in effort is an important lesson. See, that I can kind of get behind.
That part
I agree mostly
behind.
With this.
But here's the thing. The participation trophy, and I'm going to speak on it because I'm an expert on the children that we don't have. That was sarcasm, by the way. When you give out participation trophies or like you reward kids for just fucking showing up, like that's teaching them that like, oh, I can do the bare minimum and still get the job done.
Yeah.
Like, no.
And that, that's the
yes,
thing.
absolutely. We should teach our kids that winning is a good thing and should be celebrated. But you should also be a graceful loser. You're not going to win everything.
Well, yeah, because what they need to realize is, like, yeah, winning is great and should be celebrated, but also losing happens too, and losing will suck. But
I'm
you know
a major loser, and I turned out just fine.
Hey, same. Whoopsh.
No, but in all seriousness, because that's how you get these spoiled, lazy, entitled kids, because they're like, well, I did the thing just by showing up.
See, and
like, no.
This conversation makes me feel old too. Like, participation trophies. I don't agree with the whole participation trophy thing, because I don't think you should be rewarded for just showing up.
No.
Like, you should be rewarded for, if you win. And if you lose, just be like, hey, that sucks, but, we'll try again harder next time. Like, that's how it should be. Celebrate your wins, and when you lose, just be like, okay.
And learn from your losses.
Yeah, learn from your losses. What else did this person... Well, there's a comment down here that says, agreed mostly. You put things on your resume when you do them, not necessarily when you win them. Mm-hmm. But maybe it would be good to have participation certificates or ribbons and reserve the trophy or the biggest acknowledgement for winners, because they deserve recognition over and above mere participation.
Okay. Maybe.
I'm kind of in the boat where I don't think you should be given anything for participation. You just be told, like, hey, good job.
Yeah, I
think...
Don't
reward just showing up. Don't reward mediocrity. No,
and I think... Yes, I think you should get, not necessarily praise, but, like, you should be acknowledged for showing up. This can make me sound like a boomer. I swear I'm not. But, like, only if you showed up and actually did your best. Then I think you deserve a little, hey, we know you did your best, and good on you for that. Maybe next year will be your year, or like it all boils down to learning from your losses.
Well, like, I'm a perfect example. I played baseball growing up, and like, if we were in like a state thing and we won. Actually, we were in my last year of baseball. We were in like a state tournament thing, and we got fourth place, and we all got trophies for it. I think I still have it somewhere in the closet, but it's like, whoever gets first, like, how fair is it to the, would it be to the team who got first did get trophies, but then the people who were, like, lazy and didn't do shit and were, barely played the game at all, how fair is it that they would get trophies too?
Right.
So, like, how fair is it that the people who bust their ass and the people who didn't do shit did this, did the same treatment? Well,
take a look, so look at the Olympics, for example. Getting a gold medal is a huge deal, but getting a bronze medal is still admirable. If they gave out medals for everybody for every event, nobody would participate.
See, if I was in the Olympics and I got a bronze medal for something and somebody's trying to talk shit like, oh, you didn't get gold.
I'd be like, let me see your fucking medal.
Some, bullshit person watching, somebody online was like, oh, well, they didn't get gold, so blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm sorry. Did you attend the fucking Olympics?
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you an Olympic medal winner?
Are you in the Olympics? I don't think so.
I'm sorry. I thought this was America.
I thought this was America. I got nothing else to say on that one.
No, what's the next one?
All right. Next opinion. I got a lot of these still going on.
I also have a lot of opinions, but that's neither here nor there.
I'm not even going to bother reading this username, but I'm just going to read the opinion. Tucked in shirts on men look really ugly unless you're wearing something on top like a suit jacket.
Okay, my father has tucked in his shirt his entire life, so how dare you besmirch the good name of Scott Rowe?
The reason they give, that's exactly what I said. Looks awful. Especially for those of us without the physique of a willed, muscled, and slim man and or the wallets to afford very fine quality shirts. Every time I'm in a situation where I need my shirt tucked in, like, say, job interviews or semi-formal events, I can't help but feel like a Steve Urkel version of SpongeBob saying, "Hi, how are ya?"
Hi, how are ya?
I'm making an edit now as I already see a trend. No, I'm not overweight. No, I'm not underweight. I'm actually pretty average but good built. I simply mentioned the type of people who I believe are the only ones who look good in tucked-in shirts without something on top, such as a blazer, being model types, because I genuinely think they are the only ones who look good. And to add to that, I think they'd still look better without it being tucked in. Now, my opinion on it, I just don't tuck my shirts in general. Like, the only time I've ever tucked in my shirts is, like, when I'm wearing, like, dress clothes, if I'm at, like, a funeral or something.
I'm sorry.
What?
So the kids upstairs are, like, stomping around, they're running around yelling, and I just look over and Mochi is, like...
It's just wide-eyed.
Like, full on, eyes wide, just, like, the look on his face is just, like, fucking seriously?
Yeah, this is exactly why I wanted to record earlier in the day.
It just fucking took me out, because I wasn't expecting his eyes to be wide open like that.
But
yeah, I mean, I
hate tucking in my shirt.
And this is a broad generalization, but most, how do I want to say this? Speaking as a cisgendered woman, most of my people don't typically tuck. I mean, the only time I've ever had to tuck in a top is if I was wearing a blouse with, like, a skirt. Because the skirt comes up to, like, in this particular style. A pencil skirt usually comes up to, like, right below your yitties.
Yeah.
So then you would tuck in your blouse. But I guess even then I would wear, like, a blazer or something over it. I don't know, man. I'm a hairdresser. Our dress code is weird.
Yeah, I mean, personally, like I said, I would never tuck in my shirt. I just hate how it looks on me, and I hate just how it looks in general. So the only time I've ever tucked in my shirt is, like, when I was younger and I wear, like, dress clothes. But if I can avoid tucking in my shirt for anything, I will.
Yeah, and I mean, I hate clothes in general. Like, if I could live my life in muumuus, I would do that, and then I wouldn't have to tuck shit.
Bro, same.
Speaking of, I saw some really cute cheap ones on TikTok. I might have to order soon.
Well, let me know when you look at that, because I might have to look at some things on TikTok. I might order more of these pants, actually, because these TikTok pants are great, and I might get more colors. But anyway, that was short and sweet. Next opinion. This is from Chetanabart.
What an epic username.
Good sinners shouldn't be allowed to do karaoke. It ruins it for everyone else. They say, the point of karaoke is that it's fun and funny because everyone is trying their best despite their abject mediocrity. When you get a great singer, suddenly it makes it serious and everyone is starkly aware of their lack of talent. It's like someone being able to do photorealistic drawings when playing Pictionary. Now this I disagree with.
Yeah, I think just let people live their life, man.
This commenter down here kind of says what I'm thinking. They quote the part that says, the point of karaoke is that it's fun and funny because everyone is trying their best despite their abject mediocrity. And they say, no, the point of karaoke is that it's fun because everyone is singing together regardless of their voices. Don't take away someone's fun night because of your insecurity.
Literally, like, what I just said.
That's literally the thing. Like, karaoke isn't about people just, screeching whatever songs. Or you get the group of white women that will sing the same 3 songs, no matter what group it is.
I mean, go to any bar and throw on Sweet Caroline and see what happens.
Sweet Caroline, like, you get a group of white women, I guarantee the 3 songs they're probably going to do is Sweet Caroline, Before He Cheats, and
Goodbye Earl by the Chicks.
Or some rap song. Because drunk white women think they can rap.
Hot take. Drunk white women should never rap.
Never. I mean, look what happened with Jojo Siwa. But no, the karaoke thing,
like, train wreck of a human.
I've never done karaoke.
Me either, but I can't sing, so.
Because I'm kind of nervous. Well, I'm a little nervous about singing in front of people. I've gotten a lot better.
That's not true. You've done karaoke.
Have I? Oh yeah, I did it at Charles Terror, and that's
yeah.
Like, I'm kind of good at karaoke. Like, I'm not a bad singer. I'm definitely not the greatest, but like I can sing. I
mean, I shouldn't say I'm.
Like, you're not a horrible singer.
I can,
like, you're not,
as
like,
long as I'm.
You're not like America's Got Talent level. But, like, you can, like.
I know my way around a Taylor Swift jam.
Yeah.
I was singing last night when I was cleaning.
Yeah. Like, I almost wanted to do singing professionally, but then I heard about the horrors of touring life, and I was like, nah not for me.
Nah. Or the horrors of, record company managers.
See, now I want to do karaoke. There's actually a karaoke place kind of by us, close to us.
Do you have some opinions too, Beanifer?
Maybe one of these days.
Beanulas?
All right. Next opinion, and this one
I like
actually...
how we call him everything but his name.
Everything but Dorian. So, this next opinion comes from a different subreddit, r/gaming.
Okay.
All right, this is from r/gaming and comes from Magoo.
Magoo?
Unpopular opinion, I play all my games, open world, role-playing elements, on the easiest mode because it's still hours of fun and the stories are nice. I just hate doing the same quest over and over again because I get killed. I just want to enjoy the story. Who's with me? I'm definitely with this guy. I play, when I start a game, usually difficulties nowadays, I just go on normal. Mm-hmm. Because for most games, it's a good balance between story and gameplay. But there's nothing wrong with going, beginner level. Perfect example for, the original, some of the Kingdom Hearts games, I played through them first on beginner because I wanted to get through I want to enjoy the story without, having, some bullshit challenge or, having some weird, roadblock,
See, and I'm not the one to talk to about this because I play the same 3 games over and over and over and over and over again.
And Undertale doesn't really have a difficulty rating.
No, but Legend of Zelda does.
I would say the only thing Well, yeah.
Because technically...
You can't really set, you start the game, you can't really be easy, normal, hard.
Well, no, but if you... So, with... I'm going to say it wrong. Ocarina of Time?
Mm-hmm.
I always want to say Ocarina, but it's Ock. Technically, Master Quest is the harder version of...
Yeah, Master Quest is basically the hard mode.
Master Quest kicked my ass. That shit made me so mad.
There are some games that do a adaptive difficulty, so where you can't set it at the beginning, it kind of lowers or raises the difficulty depending on how you play. If you're really good at it, it'll try to make the game harder, but if you're struggling, it'll try to make it a little easier.
Yeah, I think that's cool. I think more games should do that.
Just, again, to use Kingdom Hearts as an example, I tried on standard difficulty, and I got all the way through to Ansem, and I just could not beat the final phase of the Ansem fight. So I restarted the whole game and finished it. With
your lip stuck on your tooth.
And finished it first on beginner mode.
Yeah.
Because I was I really want to finish. I mean, I already knew the story of the first Kingdom Hearts, but I wanted to get through this boss fight, and I just was not able to do it on standard.
Yeah.
Now, Kingdom Hearts 3 is different because I feel like the difficulties in that, at least to me, don't matter in the slightest. Because, I mean, I didn't even start on beginner, but I did standard, got all the way through it. Proud mode, got all the way through it. And then critical, which is supposed to be the hardest difficulty, got through it. A little too easy, might I add.
Should write a letter.
I should write a letter to Tetsuya Nomura and Square Enix.
Kingdom Hearts 3 was very disappointing because...
Kingdom Hearts 3 wasn't that hard. Easy. GG.
GG.
Now this, I don't know if you'll have any personal opinions on, but this next one from r/Damien, I'll have some opinions on. Unpopular opinion, this comes from Caliber Skyrim.
Okay.
Unpopular opinion. Lego games were much funnier when the characters couldn't talk. So, the older, the first Lego games that came out, the characters did not talk.
I don't
Lego
know,
Star Wars.
because Lego Batman throwing a fit and fish flopping himself out of the room is pretty fucking funny.
Well, that's the Lego movie, but Lego Batman movie. We're talking about the Lego video games, the original Lego Star Wars game.
See, that's how much I know about it.
See, in the original Lego Star Wars game, they didn't have the voice clips or whatever, or have anybody do lines. They just had people go because they didn't give voices. It wasn't until Lego Lord of the Rings, I think, that they started either throwing in lines from the respective, movie, or they had nowadays they have their own voice cast.
Sure.
Do stuff. And I would honestly disagree with this because, like, the Lego games, they're some of the funniest games I've played. Like, I know they're more for kids, but I definitely, like, there's definitely been a lot of Lego games where I've gotten a good chuckle because whoever writes for them is, on their shit.
I think, apart from Link and Frisk, I think video game characters should talk.
Yeah, well, I mean, a mostly silent character, unless, their silence has to make sense,
Yeah.
I mean, for Link, I don't think they've ever really given a reason why he's silent.
Well, through the majority of the game, it's just him.
And then you see, examples in, Breath of the Wild. Link does speak. He just doesn't speak in-game.
Mm-hmm.
But you see some stuff from, his perspective,
Right.
But, yeah, I definitely disagree that the Lego games are funnier when the characters couldn't talk. If anything, the writers are definitely doing a good job of putting humor in modern Lego games, too.
Yes.
All right. Back to r/unpopular opinion. Down to our last two. This one comes from Gold Coast Cat. Show your receipt. When leaving a store, occasionally someone will ask to see your receipt. Just show it. The person asking you didn't make the rules and is probably working for minimum wage. Causing all sorts of drama just makes their already awful job more awful. I agree with this, but it should also be on, the Walmart greeter or whatever to not be a dick about it, Basically,
yeah.
It's their job to check receipts, so just be like, hey, can I see your receipt? Instead of doing it, with the attitude that you think somebody's stealing something,
But to be fair, at Walmart, that's probably a 90% accurate
But
statement.
also to the show your receipt thing, yeah, I mean, if they're asking, just show them and you'll be on with your day.
Well,
don't make a big deal about it for no reason.
We usually, when we go grocery shopping, whether we're at Walmart or Target or wherever, we usually just keep the receipt on us because we don't put a lot of stuff in bags.
Yeah, the thing we'll do, we'll get stuff and then I'll just kind of hold it, in view. Yeah. So, oh, you paid for your stuff. Go on about your day.
Well, and the thing I like about that one Walmart guy especially is that he, you know what I'm talking about? The tall guy who doesn't really talk a whole lot, but he always just, kind of dips his head at us.
Yep.
Occasionally, when we have, bigger items that we didn't put in a bag, if we have, a 12-pack or cat litter or whatever.
Yeah.
He'll glance at the receipt, and then it's I don't know what point I'm trying to make, but I like that he's just looking for the things that aren't necessarily bagged. You know what I mean?
Yeah, anything that's not in a bag, he'll...
Because I've watched him, he's looked at the receipt and then he's, counted, our pops or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. It never offended me. I'm like, do your job. Get your bread, babe. I don't...
Well, yeah.
I don't care.
There's the people that, they'll go out and the person will be like, hey, can I see your receipt? And they're like, what, you think I'm stealing? Just show the fucking receipt.
Also, getting defensive, automatically I'm going to assume you're stealing.
Right. If you get that defensive real quick, then odds are you are stealing. But even if you're not stealing, just show the fucking receipt.
Because genuinely, it's my personal conspiracy theory that they're not actually looking at the receipt. They're just want to see if you're willingly going to hand it over.
Yeah. Well, the people who...
You get away with a lot more shit if you have
people who get defensive and get offended and be like, oh, you think I'm stealing or whatever, or make a big deal about it. First off, you're holding everyone else up.
Right.
Everyone else trying to leave the damn store. Just show the receipt, prove you didn't steal anything, and move on with your day.
Right.
Don't hold everyone up and spend the next hour fighting with the staff who quite literally don't make enough to deal with your bullshit.
Right.
Literally.
They're making minimum wage and you're making their life miserable for what?
Ma'am, I make $12 an hour. I literally do not get paid enough to deal with your nonsense.
Literally don't get paid enough to care.
All right. Last one. This is from Andre Royo B. Music festivals are a terrible time.
I've never been to one, so I wouldn't know.
Oh, you've been to one. That one year I took you to Warped Tour?
Oh, and I left after 10 minutes because I was having a terrible time.
They say massive music festivals are awful. Overcrowded events where you have to pay exorbitant prices for anything basic, horrendous toilets, queuing everywhere, and often or terribly inadequate music experiences with poor sound and vision. Only reason they are popular is because it's organized/manageable fun that allows local government to orderly provide live music, and people with money a way to make bank. I wouldn't say they're a terrible time. I would say music festivals are definitely not for everyone, but it's something you get used to. Like, I loved going to Warped Tour.
Yeah, I was
straight
up not having a blast.
There was a lot of people there. It was like the middle of summer, but I was there with friends, and I was enjoying my favorite bands.
And then I dipped. I was like, no, I can't.
Yeah, the one year I took you dipped after like 10 minutes.
I was like, I can't. We walked around. Well, first of all, we stood in line for like an hour, so I was already hot and crabby. And then we walked around to a couple stages. We stopped at a tent and got a beer, I think, which is absurd because it was like 10 o'clock in the morning. And then I was like, I'm hot and overwhelmed, and there's too many people here. I'm fucking going home.
And see, that's kind of where you and I differ, because in a lot of those places, like, I'm laser focused on like what I want to do, so I'm able to like tune out everything else that's going on. Because like a Warped Tour, I'm like, okay, we see this band and this band. I think that's actually the one I took you to. That Warped Tour is where I met a former band that is no longer together.
You did, and at the time it pissed me off. I was like, I should have fucking stayed.
I mean,
now I could care less.
But. I mean, we saw what happened with them, so...
Yeah, it turns out one of them was not so awesome.
Yeah, the lead singer was a groomer, and, well, no, the rest of them were pretty cool. The rest of them were chill. But the lead singer was a,
he made the decision to leave the band. They kicked me out of the band.
Yeah, Michael should have deserved better.
Yeah, he did.
But at least he got to join them for their farewell tour that they did.
Sans their lead singer.
In case you guys didn't realize, I'm talking about a band formerly known as Issues, who
Which
are
is
no longer
unfortunate
together.
because they had some bangers.
Like, their music is still good. Like, I still listen to them. But what happened with Tyler Carter is that they found out like he was basically a child groomer and kind of being creepy, so they kicked him out of the band. But before that, they kicked their streamer Michael out of the band for literally some unbeknownst reason, probably because they were petty. And then they kind of were quiet for a while, for like years. And then just this past year, the people who were left, the bassist, the drummer, and the guitarist, all decided like, hey, since we're not doing anything, let's just do one last farewell tour, kind of go out with a bang. And they recruited, I forget his name, but he's a singer for another band called The Home Team, which their music is quite a bop. But I definitely think music festivals definitely aren't for everyone. Like, I didn't see why somebody
definitely
would think...
not for me.
I didn't see why somebody think they're a terrible time. I haven't been to one in years. Well, mostly because Warped Tour is no longer
I would
a thing.
I'd go to WeFest.
Well, I feel like that's different because that's a lot of like North, lake people just all together having... Well... That's
getting
most music
stupid drunk and tailgating.
That's most music festivals too. Like Warped Tour, it was just a bunch of emo kids just having a good time.
Except I looked at the lineup for WeFest this year because I was kind of thinking about maybe going, and I know like 3 people that are going to be there, and I'm just like, nah.
I'm sorry, no Jelly Roll, no thank you.
Jelly Roll's going to be there, I think.
Is he?
I think so.
Okay.
Should we look it up? I'm going to look it up.
All right, you looked it up. I'm going to end the episode because that's all the opinions I have, and I'm getting sweaty as all hell over here. Like, I don't know what is going on with where I sit while I record these episodes, but goddamn.
Okay, real
I'm
quick.
getting sticky.
Eric Church, Jelly Roll, Lauren Watkins, Parker McCollum, Co Wetzel, Jason Dean, Stephen Wilson Jr., Paul Cathell, Lone Star, Carly Pierce, Elle King. I know like 4 of these people. Trace Adkins. Ooh, I would go for Trace Adkins.
Oh, yeah?
I'd also go for Lone Star and Carly Pierce and Eric Church.
All right, well, that's something we might have to look into. But what you guys can look into is the end of this episode, because that's all the content we had for you today. I have no idea when the next episode is going to be about, but I guess you just have to wait and see, you know. It's just like Christmas. You see the goodies under the tree, but, you know, you can't open it just yet. You have to wait. You have to wait for a certain day, because I guess that's rules. But, did you enjoy this episode, Kate? Did you enjoy these opinions?
Lawn chair seating starts at $195.
Lawn chair seating
at WeFest starts at $195.
And also, thank you for ignoring my question at the end of this episode.
Sorry, I'm down a rabbit hole. Yeah, I did have fun.
All right, well, we might have to do this one again, Unpopular Opinions. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys are staying hydrated, doing positive things. I have one last
unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
That's highway fucking robbery. You're gonna charge me $200 to sit my happy ass in a lawn chair?
Oh,
absolutely
there she
not.
goes. There she goes again. End of the episode, just dragging on about what, you know, her feelings and everything. But
Don't ever disrespect me like that again.
Anyway, drink your water, do positive things out there. I've been Cameron.
I've been Kate.
And as always, we'll see you in the next one. Nerd out.